Hey parents, hope you're doing well today. And what I want to do for you right now is I want to provide a simple resource for you or something that you can have to help you disciple your students. A lot of you have a lot of time right now, or your students have a lot of time, and you're trying to figure out how can I be a great disciple maker with my students and helping them grow in their faith. We all have that question. My goal as a student pastor is to help you along the way, to give you tips and to help motivate you and push you as a parent to continue being encouraged in discipling your students. I want to give you 5 things, but really it's one thing. And so and I don't want to give you a bunch of things. I just want to give you really one thing you could do well, but it has 5 parts to it. Here's the one thing that you can do really well going into this weekend and into the next week. Here's the one thing that I want you to do. Get together with your family and watch a sermon. Watch a sermon. Specifically, I want to encourage you to watch Pastor Michael's sermon. When you're doing that, I want you to think about these things. Pick a time. It's really hard with our schedules where we have a lot of stuff going on, but the one way we can create some normalcy and create some consistency is if we pick a time as a family to come together and we worship by listening to the Word together, praying through the Word together, and singing with the Word together. Now, I know it obviously looks different than what it normally would with being at the church building, but use it as an opportunity to build consistency in that spiritual consistency in your home where your whole family can get together. Will it be crazy? Yes. Is it going to be quiet the whole time? Probably not. But let it be a time where you are building normalcy in your schedule to have a designated time where you as a family can emulate the church by being the church and working together to listen to a message and sitting under the teaching of Pastor Michael. Also, I would encourage your students to do the same with my sermons, for that to be an encouragement to them, and also for them to listen to that as well. I think both of those things are very vital, but my encouragement is come together as a family, listen to the sermons together so that you can be spiritually fed. Pray before the sermon. Take a time, 2 to 3 minutes, as a family to pray over that time in preparing your heart before you watch the sermon. And then here's a big thing that I want for you. This is something that I'm going to challenge myself this week with. Please turn off your phone. I know with me, that's a very difficult thing because I think of stuff that I either want to put on Twitter or different stuff like that. Be immersed totally into the message. Really think about what's being said, process it, and really let that be a time of worship where you can gather around the Word and our minds can be totally clear from everything else to follow after Christ and listen to His Word. And here is the application from this week of watching the sermon. After you watch the sermon, anytime this week, take a time to where you take your student, go get something to eat. Go get something that you can pick up somewhere, bring it back with you. But on that drive, use that as a time to talk about the sermon. Talk about some points in the sermon. What did they learn from the sermon? What are some things they were challenged on? And use that as an opportunity for a talking point as you're talking through those things. It doesn't have to be going to get that, but that can be something really easy. It doesn't have to be Texas Roadhouse that you go grab to eat. It could be a fast food place. Whatever you can do, do it. And it doesn't even have to be something to eat. Maybe you want to go on a walk. That's something we've been doing together as a family, is walking together, going on a walk, just talking, looking at things, looking at nature. It's something that we all need right now. We don't need to be cooped up in our homes all day. We need that time to be outside, or it could be throwing the football around, throwing a ball around, playing a game, playing cards. Use that as an opportunity to talk about the sermon and talk about what your students are learning about daily. Okay? So that's my challenge to you. Watch the sermon and then use it as an opportunity for talking points in those specific ways. I hope this was encouraging to you. Again, that's my one thing that I hope that's a good tip for you as you are discipling your students. I'm praying for you. I love you and I miss you.